young men in society are not experiencing the social connections they need. Intimacy is being put off till later in life, and it's troubling that 45% of young men claim not to have any close friends, and 20% say that they have no friends at all. Another troubling idea is that a lot of young men are still residing at home with their parents or with their roommates, and because of this, it's pushing them further away from looking for sexual relationships. Approximately 63% of men aged 18 to 29 report being single. This is a higher percentage than their female counterparts of the same age group. Now, if you research this, most psychologists and people will say, oh, this is a trend attributed to lifestyle choices and changing social dynamics and economic considerations. But I think it's much more than just those things. This is a complex issue that many of you should chime in on and tell us in the comments. Why are you opting out of relationships? Now, many people say that porn is a contributing factor to that. Lifestyle, meaning like more people are just sedentary due to, having jobs that are more at home and, staying away from crowds. Because the recent studies indicate that a significant number of young men report having no sexual activity. Specifically, data shows that 43% of men aged 18 to 24 reported no intercourse in the previous year. That's up 24%. Various factors contribute to this, including, to me, the cultural shifts and the impact of digital technology. And I say cultural because I look at our society as one that's degrading, and all of the LGBTQIA movement is pushing this demise. I truly believe that when you start to complicate things and make young people not think they're boy or they're girl, or make them feel like they have to question their sexuality of what they like and what their preference is, this is a huge problem. Then they have the economic challenges, which also play a role, with high rates of unemployment and underemployment affecting their ability to engage in courtship. If you don't have money, you can't date. Additionally, the increased use of social media and digital devices has changed how people interact. And this is what I'm going to talk about in this video later. This leads to fewer in-person social and sexual opportunities. Then they talk about the psychological factors, including concerns about sexual consent and anxiety about performance. Men are terrified of getting told that they did something that they didn't do or that a woman didn't consent to. This can further contribute to the decline in sexual activity among men. But you guys obviously chime in and tell me what you think. And for more detailed on that insight, you can visit the Pew Research for more information. I'll link it below where I got all this information. But over 70% say they are single, and many of them keep to themselves because they believe women in society do not want them. Many of these young boys are spending their waking hours on the internet. Studies show that young men aged 18 to 25 play video games for an average of 1 to 2 hours a day. And many have screen times totaling up to 5 hours a day. Now, I understand if it's a part of your job that you need to be on the internet, but this is an overwhelming amount of time that is being spent on the internet, and I think needs to be examined. Now, I blame this more on the economic challenges and the job opportunities available to young men, high-paying jobs. We live in a time where wealth building is extremely difficult, even for those who were given an advantage or have a supposedly quote-unquote high-paying job. And I think due to this extremely high cost of living, this makes it hard for young men to find a reward in society. They traditionally reward themselves by buying more video games or going on a trip or doing things for themselves. They don't want to be bogged down with this idea of having to care for somebody else that does not appreciate them. Traditionally, the rewards have been relationships with women, producing an offspring or several offspring, and being able to care for them, creating a legacy. And many experts and people, even online, psychologists and doctors say the same thing, that young men need to do certain things to thrive and succeed in life. And if these things are not, you don't have some reward in the end, why do it? Working, for example. Most people worked in the past in order to have some sense of fulfillment. Having a job equated to having a house, having a family, having some sort of possession, having a nice car, a muscle car, or being able to retire. That's no more. Society has shown us that our money goes to taxes and paying for all these government programs that we don't want. And people are just not incentivized to work hard. They don't care anymore if society collapses. And then we could talk about exercise, maintaining a healthy body weight, and just staying healthy so that you don't become a burden in society or your loved ones. Does that seem like something you'd want to care about when half the people that are coming right now over the border are getting better health care than you, the people that actually work? Then you have the social skills that the psychologists will say, oh, they need social skills. They need these social skills in order to develop emotional intelligence, which if you haven't read that book, it's a good book. These are key to preserving and achieving goals in life and to being successful. But these efforts have many men feeling that they are not able to attract the type of woman that they desire. Because of why? Again, we go back to the internet and how this has changed things. I think it's really crucial that somebody do a study on this because our boys is the key. The question is, what can we do to incentivize these young men in a world where many women are opting out of relationships as well? It's kind of like, you guys have heard of the 4B movement in South Korea, where women are saying that let's not have any relationships with men at all. I find the trend troubling. In this day and age, you see a lot more women opting to have a career and to just not be in the home. And a lot of women are pushing against this trad wife mentality. They don't want to be mothers. They would rather grow old with their cat. And I see this a lot amongst the Gen Z and even some of the new kids, the Gen Alpha coming up. They're not into baby dolls, they're not into children, they're not into family, which I don't know why Bill Gates is so hung up on world population. You don't need to worry. You've already pushed the kids into the online world, and this is what I want to talk about next. I personally attribute this impact of men not having sex, girls not wanting children, to the internet. The internet has fundamentally altered the way young people build connections. Reflecting back on the 1980s when I grew up, we did not have any internet. So obviously with something like that, taking over and encroaching on our time, most of us are sitting on our internet all day. When are you going to get time to go out and actually meet people, to go say hello to your neighbors on the street and start an opportunity to have a relationship? You're not. You had to invest time and effort to get to know somebody, meet their family, and understand their dreams and their desires. People just, oh, I'll check out your page online. I'll go to your Instagram. Really? To me, that is a less genuine connection, And this is why actually a lot of people say that online makes them feel worse. Even though you're saying, oh, we're so connected online, we're not connected. We feel worse at the end of the day. Now, in today, we can swipe left or right based on a profile picture or a brief description, which may not, to me, accurately reflect the person as a whole. Many people, especially young, introverted young men, struggle to create a compelling online presence. They have weird photos of themselves, like a motorcycle or their hobby as their profile pic. They write really lame introductions of what they're doing or their goals or what they want to achieve in life. So this further complicates their ability to connect with potential partners. Now, my expertise always has lied in branding and politics, relationship building, and personal development, because I believe we need to return to a time when we look at getting to know each other rather than making some snap judgment based on a superficial profile. Because make no mistakes, the internet is false, it's fake, it's the best version of you. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to put the worst image of yourself or the worst situations that you're in? No, usually people put a false narrative of themselves online. So this is not an accurate depiction of the person you're getting to know. Even those Tinder profiles or those Match profiles, it's the best foot forward. And if you have men that are not willing to go out on a limb to go talk to a woman because they're afraid of rejection, because women nowadays have become so superficial and bogged down with what they see online and these dream realities of the relationships they see online, then you have a problem. Maybe dismissing someone valuable based on incomplete information. The next thing is financial security and stability are major concerns for many women, and I want men to understand this. They talk about hypergamy a lot on a lot of channels with men, the pursuit of a partner who provides upward mobility. It's often seen as a quest for security, but speaking from my own personal experience as a woman, financial stability is crucial for many of us. I mean, I can work, I can make good money, especially in this day and age where DEI is great. I mean, most women will get the job over men, whether or not they're qualified. And more women are shown to be more educated than men going to four-year universities. So as I'm saying this, I'm saying that this isn't always the end goal of many women. Many women want to have children and good partners, but you can't have that if men are not able to provide. And coming from my own experience, this is something that is a huge dissatisfaction in marriages, is the perception of laziness or lack of ambition in their partners. And this goes both ways. Men and women don't like when they see somebody that is not pulling their end of the load. Men are having less sex and women are less inclined to engage with men who are constantly on their phones, their video games, watching football, playing, fantasy football, living in some virtual land. I can't speak for everyone, but as a mother, I believe we need to instill the importance of hard work, maturity, and social skills in our sons. This means reducing their reliance on devices, encouraging outdoor play, and fostering social connections. We must not reward immaturity or antisocial behavior. This is crucial for personal development. Survival of the fittest is a concept that explains why some people rise to the top. It is not about having a wealthy background all the time. Yes, wealth helps. I'm not denying that. But about having a drive and a dedication to succeed. Many wealthy individuals, children fail because they lack the motivation to work hard. I look at the Vanderbilt family as a good example of that, where a lot of their family members lost their wealth due to complete laziness, if you ask me. I believe as parents, we should not coddle our children or let them think they can have or rely on our success. They need to understand that our money is not their money and that they must forge their own paths in life. By setting a good example and being diligent in our own lives, we can inspire our children to follow suit. In the last 10 years, approximately 80% of single-parent families in the United States have been headed by single moms. I know this because I was a single mom for a short while, and this has remained consistent for over a decade. Out of about 10 million single-parent families, nearly 8 million were led by single mothers. Let that sink in. This is a huge portion of children, including boys, that are being raised in households primarily by a mom, by a woman. This is according to the U.S. Census Bureau. So, as you can see here, many young men are being raised by single moms and thus not getting the male perspective on relationship building and maintaining strong, cohesive family units. Without these role models, there's going to be less incentive for young boys to work hard and struggle in order to succeed and take care of a family. They don't have the example. Children replicate what their parents do. If you want to understand what a boy might turn out like, look closely at his father. If you want to see what a girl looks like, reflect on their mother. This is crucial because many young men feel disappointed when they pick women who don't meet their expectations, which could have been easily avoided by observing the woman's mother. So for young men to secure a strong future, we need to focus on keeping families together and maintaining a cohesive unit. Men need to stop avoiding their responsibilities and actively raise their boys. Women should understand that searching for something better outside the family often leads to disappointment, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And sorry to say it this way, but men typically have two motivations: to mate with as many women as possible or to work hard for that one woman that they care about. To be that woman, you need to offer more than just materialistic desires. You must bring compassion, empathy, and love to the relationship. Men deeply desire respect, and in a society where they often feel belittled, this respect is crucial for their emotional well-being. So on that note, I will end this video here because it's already been too bloody long. But I will say that if you want more advice like this, you just want videos that will encourage you to keep going and not give up, please feel free to subscribe, share, like this video, send it to someone who's maybe struggling with understanding why this is happening. We can't let society make us feel like we're wrong for wanting to achieve the same level of happiness that our ancestors once did. They got to live in their nice cushy homes with their white picket fence. They got to live and retire with dignity and pride. And working hard and achieving something in life is going to bring you more women out there, men, than you can ever imagine. It's up to you. Stop worrying about things and get to work. Have a great day and remember to think for yourself.